What is up, everybody? My name is the Blood Man, the one and only, the GarthStone, and today we're going to talk about if Bethesda has lost that touch or not. So first of all, this is a personal opinion, and I'm not going really in depth about everything. I'm just going to talk about what I think about it all, you know? So first off, let's talk about the Elder Scrolls series. So the Elder Scrolls series has been one of the most popular series of Bethesda, I think, because when people hear Bethesda, they think of two things. They think of Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and the third one, three things, is Todd Howard just saying, it just works, you know? And anyway, first off, let's talk about Oblivion. So Oblivion was the first game I played that was from Bethesda, and Oblivion was weird for me. The first time I played it, I was laughing my ass off because the face was just weird. The face creation was just very as if you had clay and you just molded it and then you have a face. And what I made when I was younger, that was really it. And I found it so funny, so I was already hooked because of the funny faces. And when you talk to the people, you just zoom in, and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, that was fun. And eventually I discovered so much more. The world was so big and you had so much to do, and the magic was fleshed out and the melee was not fleshed out. The fighting style was okay, but that was not the real thing that made it so cool. It was so cool because you shaped your own story, you had an adventure, you had a big open world, and you just felt that this game was full of love and passion, although it had many glitches and bugs that sometimes were very funny and sometimes very frustrating. But the game was just, I think it was also the black sheep of the Elder Scrolls games, and I kind of think I understand why, but for me personally it was the best Elder Scrolls game. Maybe some people say, no, fuck off, Elder Scrolls 3 is much better or Skyrim is much better. Well, I never played Morrowind, the Elder Scrolls 3. I want to play it, but I think I can't anymore because the graphics are really outdated, and normally I really do not care about the graphics, but when you played Oblivion and Skyrim, I can't go back to that. I don't know, maybe I should try it again, but I played a little bit of it and it was already much harder than Oblivion and Skyrim, much more fleshed out. And when you see all the shopkeepers, some of them don't even want to talk to you because you're a fucking nobody. And with Oblivion, also nobody, but you build it up very quickly, and then in Skyrim you just are the Dragonborn from the start, almost from the start, and everybody adores you. So that's the problem I have with Skyrim, I think. I'm going to segue the Skyrim topic now. Yeah, Skyrim was a good game. It was a really good game. It was open world. You can do anything you want and anywhere you want. But the game was more bland. The quests were more bland. It was more repetitive. The Oblivion had really fleshed out stories. The main story from Oblivion was not that good. It was interesting, but it was not the most awesome thing you could do. Same with Skyrim. The Skyrim main quest was interesting, but not the thing you are going to do when you play the game. So yeah, Skyrim is just much more bland. It has less passion, I think, because when you see Oblivion, it had so much creatures in them and so much diversity. Maybe it's that Skyrim doesn't have that because Skyrim, the world itself, the province, is just not the climate for many creatures. Maybe it's lore-wise why there are not that many monsters, but I think they could probably do something more, because in Oblivion you had unicorns and you had fucking minotaurs and you had so much more Daedra. I mean, the Daedra could have been there because when you summon in Oblivion you had over 10 summons, I think, and in Skyrim you have 5. You have goddamn 5. That's nothing. You have the Atronauts, the 3 Atronauts. Then you have the Familiar, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm very sorry. And then you have the Daedra Lord, and that's fucking it. And then you have some DLC with some extra summons, but that's not interesting because it's a DLC. In Oblivion I had a DLC that you had more summons, you know? So it's just, I don't know, I don't like it. It's weird. And then we have Elder Scrolls Online. I never played it, I'm never going to play it because I am not a fan of MMO games. I'm sorry, I just don't like them. So yeah, that's just a quick thing I wanted to say about the Elder Scrolls series, and that's why I think Bethesda is maybe losing the touch, because you have Elder Scrolls 3 and 4 and 5 and it just keeps getting less, more repetitive and less colorful, I think. I don't know how to say it. And then we have the Fallout series. I think it's the same with that. You have Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is a very amazing game. It's a little bit like Oblivion. It has some bugs. and glitches, but it's a good game, and when you invest your time in it, it becomes an even greater game. But then you have Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is a good game, it really is, but it's not that good. You have base building that just works, but it's not the best base building. It just doesn't work sometimes. It really does not. But it's a good game overall. But it's the same with Skyrim. Some things were left out, and I'm not going into in depth with that, with what is left out and what not. But it's just meh. But then they made an update when you have survival mode, and then I was really giddy again because I love the survival modes. I really hope, I don't think it's going to be, but I hope they're going to do a survival mode in the Skyrim remaster for the PS4, Xbox, and PC. I don't think it's gonna happen because they said something about that. So yeah, anyway, Fallout 4, Fallout 3, it's the same dilemma with Oblivion and Skyrim. It's the same thing, what happened. So that's why I hope when there's going to be a Fallout 5 or maybe an Elder Scrolls 6 that it's not going to do that, that it's getting more repetitive. I really hope they bring that passion and detail back. Skyrim had detail, of course, Fallout 4 also, but Oblivion had less graphics, but there was some things that were just so interesting, you know? I don't know if I'm the only one thinking this. I don't know. It's just what I think. And then we have other games that were made by Bethesda, but I really did not play. You had Doom. I played Doom. Doom was a good game. It was just back to the roots of the old Doom. You just kicked ass and you didn't care about the main villain. When he talked to you through the computer, you just threw the computer away because fuck that motherfucker, you know? And then we have an upcoming game made by Bethesda, is Prey, a remake of Prey. And there's a lot of hate about that. And I understand why, because the first Prey, it was a good game. I never played it, but I've read about it, I've seen reviews of it, and it has a very strong fan base. I can understand that people really enjoyed the game back in the day, but now they see this game and they're just really annoyed because the aliens look completely different. I know it's a remake, you do some things different, but they look completely different. The mechanics look boring. It has some interesting things in it, but it just looks like a boring mediocre horror thriller shooter game, you know? So I don't know, maybe it's going to be something, maybe not. I have only seen one gameplay footage of it, so maybe it's going to be good. I don't know. I was skeptic about The Last Guardian 2 and that game turned out well, so yeah, we'll see. So yeah, that's all what I wanted to say about Bethesda. So is Bethesda really losing the touch? I think they maybe are a little bit. Maybe there is going to be a game that's just completely different, and maybe it's going to be a perfect game. Yeah, not perfect, but it's going to be a good game, and maybe you see more love and passion into it. But I don't know. The last couple of games made by Bethesda are a little bit bland. I really still like the games, but it's different. I know that companies change over time, but you just hope they change in a good way. But this is just, it's still good, but a little bit less, you know. So maybe they're losing the touch, maybe they're going to get better again, I don't know. But in any case, that is my opinion. So if you like it, leave a like, and if you don't like it, you can dislike. You don't have to dislike. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I wanted to say today, my beautiful friends, and I will see all you awesome people in the next video.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame.